Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. About 8 topics for this video. The first topic has to do with Trump and Elon Musk. It seems like Donald Trump offers Elon Musk a job in the government. And Elon Musk, what is his response? I will tell you. Second, Russia hits energy infrastructure overnight. And while it hits energy infrastructure, some chlorine industrial facility is blown up. And the level of chlorine is between 4 and 10 times elevated. So that tells you that, someone was preparing something with chlorine. Now, people not familiar with this, from chlorine, some people made some chemical weapons in the past. But hey, could be manufactured just for, disinfectant and so on. Chlorine, after all. Correct? Correct. Now, I'm going to talk about the Russian attack on Ukraine overnight with about some 20-some drones and some missiles. But the Ukrainians are fantastic, obviously, fantastic. They destroy almost everything. Next topic. The Ukrainians, NATO, destroy the third Russian bridge inside Russia. Why? So they don't allow the Russians to retreat, to capture them over there. When the Ukrainians did the same thing in Ukraine, well, it seems like they like blowing up bridges. But it's not Ukraine, it's the guys behind. Remember the Kakhovka water dam? Who blew it up? That dam? Oh, the Russians, because the Russians do these kind of things. Next article. I'm going to show you maps on this one. Next article. The Ukrainian forces stopped across all of Kursk region. No more advancements or advances, how do you call it? Next article. Zelensky copies the Russians. He invaded Russia in order to create a buffer zone. Exactly what the Russians wanted to create in Ukraine against NATO. Interesting, don't you think? And the last article that I have here, Russia captures another town, major town they call it, in East Ukraine. They captured, if you remember yesterday, New York, and they are on their way to capture a major town in Donetsk. So let's start with the first article coming from Reuters, and Reuters must be believed. Trump says he may end EV tax credit, is open to naming Elon Musk as an advisor. Now, if you remember, if you don't remember, you know. If you don't know, now you know. The American government, I think, is conducting unfair competition. That is, in certain industries or products that compete with one another, they give tax credits. That is, if I buy a EV, an electric vehicle, I get $7,200 in tax credit. That means it helps me at the taxes. So the government gives me an incentive to buy a product that competes with, let's say, the regular combustion engine. Therefore, you're not going to go and buy a fuel-operated, gas-operated, benzene-operated car anymore because you have the incentive of $7,200 from the government. And the government pays for that car that you buy. So it's not like, oh my God, it's just, it's an incentive. Those $7,200 the companies get. It's not that somehow the companies who produce the electric vehicles lose. No, they take it from you, the buyers of the EV, and the non-buyers. They are taxes across the board. So this is, I say, unfair competition when the government intervenes, like in a capitalist system that we have. Intervenes in one industry, one product against another product. So Trump said, I will end that. But unfortunately, I read a little bit through this article, and Trump is not doing it for the right reasons, I would say. And how is he going to do this when he's going to hire Elon Musk, who, Tesla, EV, Now, let's read a little bit from this article here. Republican presidents is 7,500, actually. My bad. Even worse. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump said on Monday that if elected, he would consider it doesn't mean I will, ending a 7,500 tax credit for electric vehicle purchases, and that he would be open to naming Tesla CEO Elon Musk to a cabinet or advisory role. And I'm quoting Donald Trump. Tax credits and tax incentives are not generally a very good thing. Well, that's good. That's good you say that. Trump told Reuters in an interview after a campaign event. Asked if he would consider naming Musk to an advisory role or cabinet job, Trump said he would. And I'm quoting, "He's a very smart guy. I certainly would. If he would do it, I certainly would. He's a brilliant guy," Trump said. Well, if elected, Trump could take steps to reverse Treasury Department rules that have made it easier for automakers to take advantage of the 7,500 credit, or could ask the U.S. Congress to repeal it entirely. While President Trump sought to repeal the EV tax credit, which was later expanded by President Joe Biden. Do you like how nicely this is worded? Like, it's just a regular stuff. Now, I don't know how Elon Musk could function. After all, Trump will be his boss, right? At that point, unless he's going to have a specific clause somewhere. Being an advisor, you give your opinion, you have some influence, and then you have to go and debate with other advisors that Trump appoints. We'll see. Now let's see what is Elon Musk's answer to the offer. Russia Today, the 20th of August 2024. Musk responds to Trump's job offer. The billionaire has stated he is willing to serve after the GOP nominee floated, giving him an advisory role. So here it is. In the wake of an assassination attempt on last round, Musk publicly backed his candidacy, writing on X, "I fully endorse President Trump and hope for his rapid recovery." The businessman also adopted an increasingly critical stance towards the administration of Democratic President Joe Biden in recent months. In a post on X on Tuesday, Musk signaled, "I am willing to serve." And here, speaking to Reuters on Monday, Trump described the tech tycoon as a very smart guy. And I'm quoting, "I certainly would appoint Musk to an advisory role. If he would do it, I certainly would." Good? Good. Is that a good thing? I think it's a fantastic thing. It's a fantastic thing that Elon Musk would accept that if Trump gets elected and if Trump appoints him. Next article, and this is the next topic, and this has to do with Russia hits energy infrastructure in airstrikes on Ukraine. Russia hit energy infrastructure in northern Ukraine in an overnight missile and drone attack and caused a huge fire in the west of the country, resulting in an increase of chlorine levels in the air, Ukrainian officials said on Tuesday. Were you building chemical weapons? Some used in the Second World War chlorine weapons. You know who those were? No, it was not Churchill. Churchill did not use, and no. All right? The Germans. But hey, chlorine. Let's go and read further here. Ukrainian forces shot down three ballistic missiles and 25 out of 26 drones, launching the attack on 9 regions across the country, Ukrainian forces commander says. So let me see. So you have 9. How many ballistic missiles did they launch? So they don't say, but they shot down 3 plus, let's say, 26 were over there. So we know that there will be about, let's say, 30 at least. 30 on a 9. That means two air targets on each county or oblast. Are you crazy? This is if you take 26 drones, as I said, I don't know how many ballistic missiles they launched, 100, 200, 300, but all these 26 that we know of, plus 3 that you know of, and I just rounded up to 30. 30 on 9 regions. That would give you an average of 2 air targets. That could be a $20,000 little drone, 2 of them attacking an oblast. Now, do you think that's a World War II level bombardments? Do you think this is Dresden bombardment? Do you think this is Hiroshima? No, this is a joke compared with the Second World War. And I don't want to see that level in the Ukraine war. I think Ukraine war should not have started in the first place. But some people had to make some profits, big profits, and they'd make a lot of profits, which are banking system, military industrial complex, and energy, natural resources companies. Now, guys, they provide you with oil, gas, and all those things. These are the lucky winners. All right. So these guys, let's read further. Regional officials in the northeastern Sumy region bordering Russia said an energy facility was hit, causing blackouts for 72 settlements and more than 18,500 consumers. So if they were so successful in this kind of things, I always say look at the aftermath of these kind of things. They always report, NATO, we blew up all this, we destroyed them. But then the next day you find out, 100,000 people have no electricity. And they say the wreckage, the wreckage that was hit in the air, that little 3-meter attention span, wingspan of a drone with that little warhead with whatever they has of an explosive, hit exactly, it was hit in the air, and it sharpened, just fell, the debris hit the exact place where it was intended, leaving these guys without energy. These such imbecilic justifications. But remember, they are targeting the baboons, and it works. It works. When you shoot an incoming target, you don't shoot it above you, do you? And if you shoot it far away or closer, the debris don't hit the target. You're not next to it. You're around it. Anyway, it doesn't have to go that way. It's just imbecilic. I pointed this out many, many times. All right, so Sumy region, right there. Energy workers rush to repair. Okay, next, let's see here. An industrial facility was attacked in the western region of Ternopil during the latest bombardments, and a fuel reservoir was hit. Ukrainian television showed huge columns of black smoke rising over Ternopil. The burning fuel and lubricant materials has raised chlorine levels in the air. A deputy head of the Ternopil regional administration said authority urged people to stay indoors. All right. Here, Ukraine form. Russian attack on Ternopil region. Chlorine levels in the air 4 to 10 times higher than normal. Were you building chemical weapons? Were you? No. Why did they hit it? Oh, because they're just bad. I got it. An excess of chlorine levels in the air was recorded in Ukraine's western Ternopil region due to a fire at an industrial facility following a Russian attack. Debris, my friends, just the debris. So, within the norm of 0.1 milligrams per cubic meter, there is an excess of chlorine levels from 0.4 to 1.01 milligrams per cubic meter. That is from 4 to 10 times in the atmospheric air. We advise residents of Ternopil to limit the duration of their stay in the flight, blah, 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 blah. All right, there it is. Next one. Let's see what the Ukrainians say by Ukraine form. Ukraine downs 28 incoming air targets overnight Tuesday. No, it's 29 actually, because you already said that we have 26 plus 3, right? 26 plus 3. Last time I checked, that makes 29, but anyway. Maybe he just didn't get the memo. Ukraine's air defense forces intercepted the Russian Iskander-K cruise missile, 2 Kh-59 guided air missiles, and 26 Shahed one-way attack drones. Yeah, okay. And this is the evidence, right there. You see that? That's the evidence. They're right there. They're all damaged. All right. So let's see what these guys are telling us. The Russians attacked Ukraine using two Iskander ballistic missiles launched from Voronezh region, an Iskander-K cruise missiles from Bryansk region, and a Kh-59 guided air missiles from Pap, as well as 26. So that makes it 4 missiles, right? So 2 Iskanders, this kind of Iskander M, 1 Iskander-K, that's 3, right? And 1 Kh-59, that's 4. That means it's 30. As I said, 30 missiles right here when I made these things. 30 incoming when I rounded it up. Then they attacked 9 regions. 9 regions. Okay, so it's 2 on each region. let's go back here. As a result of joint efforts by Ukraine aviation, anti-aircraft missile units, mobile fire groups, and EVE warfare capabilities, 28 air targets have been taken down, including an Iskander-K missile, 2 Kh-59 missiles. I thought there was only one here. Where is it? And the Kh missiles, plural, sorry, so they don't say how many. I thought it was only one. Missiles, so it could be 50. So let's take that back for a while. Including an Iskander, 2 Kh-59 missiles, and 25 pop. Okay, next one. Reuters. Moscow says Ukraine struck a third bridge over same river in Russia's Kursk region. I will show you where that is. This shows this, a previous bridge that was destroyed. And right here is said in Zvanoe. A satellite image shows a strategic bridge over the same river has been destroyed. Moscow. Russian investigator said on Monday that Ukraine had struck and damaged a third bridge over the same river in Russia's Kursk region a day earlier, where Moscow's troops have been battling Kiev forces for nearly 2 weeks. And this is civilian infrastructure in the Kiriv village. And I'm going to show you where Kiriv is. But the Russian Forces Ministry said Friday that Ukraine has used Western rockets, likely US-made HIMARS, to destroy a bridge over the same river in the... This is another one that occurred. Remember, there's 3. Well, so what? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to smack the Americans? No. So, quiet. The Telegraph. Ukraine destroyed third crucial bridge in Kursk. This is the third one. Infrastructure. Yeah, because the military was using it, right? Right. Kariz. Okay, so let's say where this is located. This is Kariz right here. This is the bridge that is no more right there. And we're going to go like this. And here is the border with Ukraine. I'm going to show you a different map because this river originates in Ukraine. Actually, I don't think so, because I think this flows in that one. So originates in Russia. Yeah, in Russia, my bad. In Russia from here and flows into this river right here. So it's right at this little border. And let's go and see it on the Russian map. Here is the river, and it's probably on this area here. Now, let me show you. You're going to see better where that is located. This is Kursk Oblast. This is where it was the third one destroyed, right here. All right, let's go to the next article. Sputnik. Ukrainian forces stopped across all of Kursk region. Main forces destroyed. Akhmat commander. This is what they say. This Humvee. This is what they say. It doesn't mean that it is true. This is what they say. I saw some articles. Oh, look at that bullet right there. It's a mine. Looks like one. I saw some articles on the Western operative media, the system operative media, saying that the Ukrainians are still advancing. I think that both of them should not be believed, but nevertheless, I don't expect anything else to happen after this course. It's just going to be like, hey, we gave you a bloody nose for about 2 weeks, which is true. But then what happens? Remember, one battle doesn't define the war. And I think the war, we just not angered. Because as I said many times before, the Russians are not fighting 100%. I think they fight between 5% to 6.5% to be more, of their capabilities, potential. You take troops from the south to bring over there about what, 5,000 troops or something like this. Why don't you bring some millions that you have? Well, you don't want to rock the boat. You're fighting good enough, and life is good in Russia. That's the whole point. We don't want to rock the boat in a social sphere and economic sphere. Therefore, you employ mercenaries, volunteers, and fighters from other, regions, including the ones in Donbass and so on. Why? You don't want people in Moscow to be easily swayed into starting a campaign of a little regime change, operated, directed, planned by agencies. That's how I call them. So, Ukraine's NATO-backed military began a large-scale surprise offensive into Russia's Kursk region in early August, sending crack troops, mercenaries, PMC fighters, and an array of Western equipment in the border region amid an accelerating Russian advance through Donbass and flagging Western support. It's worth noting that from the moment our units entered the first days, we were busy stopping the enemy's main forces, and we succeeded. The enemy was completely stopped along the entire perimeter, end quote, Alaudinov said in an interview with a Russian TV on Tuesday. So this is Akhmat Special Forces Commander. This is Apti Alaudinov has announced. Is it true? Black Sea Fleet Marine capture 19 Ukrainian saboteurs in Kursk region. They will take care of them. Next one. Euronews. Zelensky says aim of Kursk incursion to create buffer zone to prevent further Russian attacks. Right, and that's exactly what that will do, right? So remember the Russians said, you guys, NATO, you're too close. You cause us to be a little bit scared of your intentions. That is, let's discuss how we take care of Ukraine and be a buffer zone between NATO, which is already too close, and our interest. NATO, because NATO is a defensive alliance moving forward, said, no. The Russian says, okay, we have to act. It's unprovoked attack, We didn't provoke you. Our military infrastructure is in Ukraine, but we don't provoke you. You should just take it easy. Take it easy. Like our NATO advancements in Europe, from what? The border with, if you want, Western Germany, Eastern Germany, right to Ukraine right now. But hey, you should take it easy. If you do the same thing to us, no, we will threaten everybody. We're going to blow up the whole shit. But if we do it to you, you just take it easy. So we can just, in the middle of the day. So when the Russians invaded unprovoked Ukraine, as you all know, the Russians said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to push the front, if we can, westward to create a buffer zone so the American weapons could not hit inside Russia, which they can, and they do right now. So when the Russians said this, they said, what the hell? So the Russians said, if you're going to provide Ukrainians with, 300 miles range missiles or air defense systems, we're going to create a buffer zone between Russia, the border of Russia, with Ukraine, 300 miles. If you get 5,000 miles, we're going to go 5,000 miles to the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, maybe cross it a little bit. When they said that, these guys were like, oy vey, you can't do that. This is what the Ukrainian leader says. And I understand him, but don't fool yourselves. This is not going to be a buffer. This is just I think, one of the latest spasms of a dying organism. Remember, if you were fishing and you go fishing and get a fish and you cut the fish's head off while it's still there, it's going to just do a little plop, 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 and then passes away. Dies, definitely, so you can eat it. So the same here. I think it's that kind of flapping. But nevertheless, let's go to the last article that I have here, and it comes from the Telegraph. The Telegraph never lies, remember that one. Russia, and I'm quoting, captures major town in East Ukraine. Moscow has claimed to have captured a quote-unquote major town in eastern Ukraine as its forces continue to make grinding advances in Donetsk region. Russia's defense ministry said on Monday it had liberated the town of Artemovo, known as Zaliznya, in Ukraine, describing it as one of the... Where is it? What the hell? Describing it? Where did I read that? Describing it as one of the area's major population center. And these guys make fun. With a recorded population of 5,000 people in 2022, it captured would represent the largest single gain made by Russia in recent weeks after capturing a series of smaller settlements nearby. Well, they're about to conquer something even bigger, which is Pokrovsk right here, with a population of about 60,000 people before this garbage started. Right now it's about 55,000 people. And that's an important hub. And according to Ukrainian experts, I covered it yesterday, if that happens, if that Pokrovsk is conquered by the Russians, and I see the evidence about 95% it will, because those guys are already evacuating the population. If that happens, the whole front will Not would or could or should or might or may. No, no, will collapse. This is according to the Ukrainian expert. Now, is it to create panic? Of course. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. See you later.